Hey guys, I hope you're doing well and that you're ready for our webinar. Be sure to make yourself some time. We're talking about a 3-hour webinar which is full with information, some very advanced stuff. I'm actually showing you some techniques that I haven't yet shown to anyone. Of course, outside each China Masterclass course and besides the private sessions that I did before, but I've never shared it public, so be sure to check it out. Towards the end of the webinar, I'm also sharing some very unique deal, some very special bonus that will actually help you save money from the very first sale on AliExpress. So be sure to also check this one out. It's near the end of the webinar, so there's still time. But an additional thing that I want you to know, this is of course a continuation of the previous webinars from Nahar, meaning that we'll further explore the niche of fishing. So be prepared. Again, make yourself some time. Be sure not to get disturbed. We're talking about very helpful material that you're going to learn from the webinar. So again, 3 hours. Make yourself some time. Goodbye. We will wait for a couple more minutes. Meanwhile, I think it's a great time to explain what are we going to cover in this webinar and what are we going to unfortunately skip because we lack of time. So first of all, let's start with what you will not find in this webinar. It's very important to emphasize that there are a few points about the AliExpress research that I won't be able to talk about because again, the lack of time. I for one can talk about AliExpress 5, 6, 7 hours. People who know me will confirm that. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like to cover everything in a 1-2 hours webinar, it's just not possible. This webinar will focus on AliExpress niche research, meaning that we will be learning how to find hot selling items, items from the niche of fishing. This is what Nahar asked me. It's like continuation of the previous webinars in which he really explored deep into the fishing niche, a niche that, by the way, I have no experience in. It was actually funny in our Hebrew webinar. I got all these like obstacles because of my unexperience in the fishing terms, fishing related terms. So this was actually funny. Most of you, I assume, wasn't in this webinar, but even though I have no experience in that niche, it is still a great niche that in this webinar we will explore. But the things, okay, I actually missed my point. The things that I will have no time to talk about will be, first of all, and I know it will be a huge disappointment for some of you, I won't have time to talk about how to find reliable supplier, meaning how to check the statistics of a seller on AliExpress and how to confirm if whether she or he can be trustworthy. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to go over that statistics. It is a thing that obviously you should learn before starting to go deep into AliExpress. It is actually a more basic thing, and this webinar will talk about more advanced stuff. So if you're already selling from AliExpress, if you already have some experience with AliExpress, you will benefit greatly from this webinar. So talking about how to check the statistics of a seller and to determine if whether she or he is trustworthy will be a point that unfortunately I won't have time to talk about. This is thing number one. Thing number two that I won't be able to explore into will be the, again, I assume it will be a huge disappointment for some of you. I won't have time to talk about business policies, meaning configuring the shipping policy for AliExpress. So again, this is a thing that you will be asked to learn by yourself. There are a lot of great information on the web. And again, in a 1-2 hours webinar, I won't be able to talk about this as well. Again, we will focus on niche research with Zik. I made this wonderful presentation that will show you everything you need to know about how to really explore into the AliExpress website. We will, of course, get familiar with the website at first. I will show you things you need to learn, and by the end of the webinar, almost when we go to the one slide before the final one, we will go into a bonus, a special bonus that I've made for you, a bonus that I'll share, a bonus that until not long ago, until about a week ago, when I made the Hebrew webinar, it was a bonus that I shared only with students in the China Masterclass course. But this time I will be sharing it with everyone, meaning people who watch me live, people who will watch the recording will have it as well. It will be almost at the end. It will take some time until we get there, but we will get there, and I'll share it with you, and you will see how this bonus can already save you money from the very first sale on AliExpress. It will be, of course, a free one. You won't be needing to do anything. It will be a link that will give you this bonus. It is, of course, a lifetime bonus. So let's begin. I see that we are already 100 people, which is great. We've waited 10 minutes. People who didn't sign in until now will join us later, or will watch the recording that is, of course, being made. You know what? Let me just confirm. Yes, the recording is already started. Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So I'm starting this webinar. We will start with the presentation. Of course, I will be available for any questions. You have the questions chat. You can already start writing me questions. I will, of course, not answer them every few minutes. I will pause for like 10-15 minutes breaks, and then I will start answering some of the questions that will, of course, be related to what we're currently talking about. If you have questions that are a little bit more advanced about the research itself, I'll appreciate it if you can wait until we finish with this presentation. Then I'll go into live examples, meaning that I will share my screens and we will go over Zik, we'll go over AliExpress, and we'll start searching for products. So if you have questions that are related to this subject, I'll appreciate it if you can wait until we get there. Okay, let's begin. So first slide, we'll be talking about things that you must understand before actually starting to search for products. So first of all, it is highly important that you'll check every supplier on AliExpress, and I explain why. Some people think that when they go into AliExpress, 90% of the products that will be there will be, I don't know, garbage. People think very badly of AliExpress. People have some wrong beliefs about working with Chinese suppliers. These beliefs are actually wrong to my opinion. It is true that on AliExpress there's a lot of crap. There's crap on every other supplier. There's crap on Amazon. There are very faulty goods in Walmart. There are products that will be unquality with defects, or that will be broken after a few usages. We, of course, as the sellers, people who actually source our items for our clients, will be needing to have a little bit more knowledge on how to avoid that. We'll need to do some further research than just an average client. I will need to check every supplier on AliExpress before starting to work with them. And the reason is also because when a client in Los Angeles gets our item after 30 days and the product, it started to break after about a week, he will of course be much more disappointed than a client that received his order from Amazon, let's say, 2 or 3 business days later after his purchase. He will of course be much more disappointed because of the long wait, and because he will already know that in order to receive a replacement, he or she will be needing to wait about the same time again, meaning another month, another 3 weeks, I don't know. So this is a thing that we must emphasize. This is a thing that we must know. We won't be just blindly taking products from AliExpress and upload them to eBay. We will first need to confirm that the product is quality and the supplier is trustworthy. AliExpress will allow us, and this is one of the greatest advantages when working with Chinese suppliers, AliExpress will allow us to ship worldwide, which is absolutely wonderful. On Amazon, you already know that we are limited to shipping within the United States. And if we want to ship internationally, we will be needing to use the global shipping program of eBay, which will of course present very unattractive prices to our clients, very high shipping fees, handling fees, which will be nice in addition to our US-based sales, but it won't be a very big difference, because again, the prices will just be horrible. So AliExpress, for example, Banggood, Gearbest, Chinese suppliers will mostly allow us to sell internationally, to ship worldwide, and actually for free, which is a great thing. But because we expand our business and because we expand our list of potential clients, we will of course need to also adjust our research methods and to expand our search to sellers and to products from not only the United States but from all locations. Meaning that on Zik, for example, limiting by search within the United States only, products that are sourced and based within the United States won't be enough. And we will of course cover it later in the live examples phase. I'm really sorry for stopping for a moment. I just see that Samson says that he can't see anything on the screen. Is that true? Guys, can you confirm to me whether you can see my screen? Because if not, it is of course very important that you'll see it. And I see that everyone can see the screen. So I'm sorry, Samson, I'm not sure what is going on in your screen. Maybe try, I don't know, maybe you should expand the screen. Maybe I actually don't know. I'm not that familiar with this software. I made like 4 or 5 webinars in that software. I've used previous software, which was, to my opinion, much more comfortable. So I'm not sure what the problem can be. Okay, I see Samson that I think that he corrected that. Okay, great. So I'll continue. Just and thank you guys for confirming it that quickly. It is important for us to learn what kind of products are being sold on AliExpress and what type of products we should avoid. And I can't emphasize that enough. I see so many people that having trouble with AliExpress, and the reason number one, to my opinion, for that is because they try and sell products that are a bit more difficult to source from AliExpress, things that are just not being sold there very correctly, and products that are maybe sold on AliExpress but with unattractive prices. There are also a lot of products that I would recommend avoiding, or not just avoiding, maybe just having a better judgment before actually listing them. I mean, products that will when selling them will face some more issues, like electronic items or stuff from the fashion category, meaning clothes, meaning pants, meaning I don't know, t-shirts, stuff like that. And just before we continue, let me explain why those products are a little bit more difficult. Electronics, for some of you who don't know, are products that we can't do anything about it. These kind of products will have more issues. Issues with operating the device, issues with, I don't know, maybe defects inside the product makes it do all these kind of things, things that were stopped working, all these technical issues. We can't do anything about it. Electronic items are products that will have a great, a larger percentage of returns, a larger percentage of defects, and with issues. Appealing for the other, on the other hand, things like t-shirts, pants, stuff like that, will face more issues with sizes. When you compare sizes between Europe, United States, Israel, for example, and China, for example, have very tiny sizes. The Chinese people are a bit more small, and their sizes are very, very small. So when we compare it to the United States, when we compare it to Europe, when you compare it to every other country, it doesn't matter which one, there will be, of course, people who wouldn't do that very good. There will be people who will think, I don't know, I'm an extra large, so I will order the extra large, but then I found out that the extra large in China is not the extra large in United States. So people who will be lazy to really compare these sizes, people who want to know the differences between the sizes, there will be a lot of issues in that category. And I wouldn't say don't trade or don't source these kind of products, because they're amazing and I'm selling this as well. But I would say that if you go into categories that are a little bit more problematic, be sure to check your profits and be sure to calculate the how would I say, the potential risk. Okay, so if you work on 10% profit on AliExpress and this kind of I don't know, in an electronic device, in a mixer, for example, I would say that it's not wise, because 1 out of 5, 4, 6 deals, you will probably face some kind of issue. And of course, in China, the returns will be a lot more problematic, and we just want to avoid it, or not to avoid it, but be sure that if you go into this much trouble, your profits will be high enough for you to cover the expenses or cover your time, all this kind of stuff. And before I continue to the next slide, I see that there are a lot of questions that were already that you've started asking a lot of questions. So just give me a moment to reply to those. First one, how can we avoid using eBay's global shipping program when we drop ship from AliExpress to eBay? Okay, this one is actually a good question. It's also an easy one. You won't use the global shipping program when working with AliExpress. AliExpress will already grant you with the possibility to ship worldwide, and mostly for free. So it will be unwise to ship from China to United States, and from United States to your client, I don't know, in Italy. You can ship directly from China to Italy. You don't need the global shipping program. You have much better prices for international shipping than what global shipping program of eBay will provide you with. You don't need to use it. You need to use it only with suppliers that ship within the United States only, or that ships internationally, but with very unattractive prices, meaning that the global shipping program will offer you better pricing than what the supplier will. In AliExpress, it's not the scenario. AliExpress will provide you with very, very cheap shipping fees for international countries. How do I get audio? George, I'm not sure I understand what you mean. If you can't hear me, it is most probably an issue in your end, because I see other people can. So I'll skip that. I'm sorry. I see a question in Hebrew. I'll translate it. Is it true that there's no automation on AliExpress? It's not true entirely. There are some softwares that I think already do provide full automation on AliExpress, meaning auto ordering, auto tracking information uploading. It is true that a lot of softwares don't, but I think that there are at least one or two that do support it. I, for one, don't know it for 100%. I don't know how to translate it, like accuracy, meaning that I'm not 100% confident in that, because I don't use full automation. I prefer working with a VA that does all the does the ordering and tracking information uploading, mostly because there's a very high cashback on AliExpress, and full automation will avoid this potential, this money that I can earn. And reason number two is because the full automation on AliExpress for the softwares who do support it is quite new. I don't fully trust it just yet. And if there's, of course, full automation that some software do provide, I'm not 100% confident about that. But if there is, I wouldn't trust it entirely. I actually prefer a person to do it and to, of course, go over it, see that everything's being done okay. So will we have a reply on this webinar? Yes, everything is being recorded. You will have it a couple more days. I assume 2 or 3 more days it will already be uploaded to the Zik Academy website. Will eBay customers be patient enough to wait 3 weeks for the product to be delivered? Great question, Eric. It is true that some people would be a little bit more pessimistic about it and will avoid such kind of sellers that ship from China, but there will of course be also a lot of clients that will be that will have no issues getting their product from China in 3 to 4 weeks. In order to avoid the people who don't want to work with such sellers, what we'll do in order to really minimize this percentage of clients is to offer such a great deal, to offer such unique items that people, even though they prefer not waiting and prefer, you know, like paying $1, $2, $3, $4 more with fast shipping, they won't have this option. What I mean is that we'll bring something that is unique and that they won't be able to find with quick and fast shipping within the United States, and then they will have absolutely no other choice, and they will be needing to buy from us. But a thing that you also need to know is that we expand our list of potential clients. Again, I repeat that, and we ship internationally. And besides the United States, most countries are not really used to such quick shipments as people in America are used to, because of the fast Prime service Amazon provides. So, for example, Israel. People in Israel already used to, when they buy from eBay, they are used to be waiting 3-4 weeks at least. They are used to that. And if you use AliExpress and sell to Israel, for example, and to so many other countries, your clients won't have any issues, because your policy is what they will be already being used to by other sellers that they purchase from on eBay. So other than what I'm trying to say is that other than within the United States, people on eBay don't used to wait 3 business days for their products. They're used to wait much longer than that. Okay, continuing. I hope you don't mind, but I'll select only a few questions because I want to continue. We have a long webinar ahead of us, so I'll try to find something good, something that is relevant. How to find hot new products on AliExpress? We'll get there. Just wait some more, Kamal. Okay, there's Daniel asked, do I need an eBay store for the buyers to be able to see the products is being shipped from China? No. Currently defaults saying it's being shipped from my home address in the UK. Daniel, if it says that it's being shipped from the UK, meaning that you should revise your item and change the item location. It doesn't mean that it isn't an option that is being open only to store subscribers. It's an option that everyone has, and you should revise your item, change it to China or to whatever country the product is being sourced from, because this is very misleading, and people will mostly or probably complain if you ship from China and say that you ship from the UK. So I think that this is everything. I see again a lot of more questions, but I don't have time for everything. So I'll answer these on the next pause. So the type of work, types of work, more accurately, will be. First of all, you should know people who, mostly people who work with box on eBay, meaning that they upload in numerous, or you don't know the numerous, but a lot of products simultaneously. People who work with bulks should know that on AliExpress it's more difficult, it's more dangerous to work with those kind of method. As at least when you don't work with the appropriate filters. If you're working with bugs and you don't know how to filter out best suppliers, if you don't have these options in your software or lister or thing that helps you bulk, if you don't choose your item wisely, you can face numerous problems. Again, I already said that it's very important to check every supplier out there before listing his products. And I'm not saying that this is a very long and painful phase. This is actually a phase that we can do in like 10 to 15 seconds. But it is important that you will do that, and it is important that you won't just blindly upload items without checking their feedbacks, without checking the statistics of the seller, without knowing how much or how long he already runs on AliExpress to see that he's trustworthy, and you will not face issues with his products. So if you're working with bulks, know that you should do filtering, some heavy actually filtering, if you want to do it with AliExpress. On Amazon, for example, it's much easier because on Amazon you have the amazing support of Amazon, and products on Amazon are mostly being through this phase of quality control, which is much more serious than what people on AliExpress will mostly do before shipping a container to United States. You know, you do all these checks, so the likelihood for a mistake is less, is more tiny, let's say. So if you wish to do searches, know that it is highly important to use filter for feedback, for seller account age, etc. I, for one, just to share my methods, how I work. So I, for one, prefer working with small volumes and large profit percentage, which is, to me, the ideal method to work with Chinese suppliers. Meaning focus on small amount of items that are more quality and being picked one by one, and with, of course, a larger profit percentage from what people are used to in Amazon. So, for example, if you're used to like 10–15% profit on Amazon, know that on AliExpress, I would never recommend a person to work on that percentage of profit, because on AliExpress it's very, I wouldn't say very, but it's easy to make higher percentages of profit, and because again AliExpress will have some issues with returns and with people get disappointed from time to time. You should measure your risks as well, and you should work on larger profits. But mostly because it's easy. AliExpress will mostly on the right products, and I'll explain later what are the right products are. So on the right products, AliExpress will have a larger difference between the prices of Amazon than just 10%, meaning that you will be able to make much larger percentages. And if you choose to not do the 40% per profit as you can and work on 10, it is of course your decision, but I would never do that. On you know, before I continue, I would just say that on AliExpress, from my for my opinion, working on less than 30% profit will be unwise. This is the percentages that you should aim for, at least 30% in my opinion. So I highly recommend, this is of course off topic, but I say it every single time I teach someone about research. I highly recommend using a product research tool. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. I am a person who has been doing dropshipping for 6 years already, and I got to it way before all these research tools were were published, were developed. Besides Therapic, that I think has been there for a very long time, but I, for one, did not know about it. Well, I did know it, but I didn't really use it. I didn't really see the potential there. And when I first started learning Zik, it was just such a big difference. Such a big difference. I'm not saying that Zik Analytics is the only good software out there. There are tons of softwares. I, for one, really love Zik, and we will, of course, talk about Zik in this example. This is a Zik Analytics webinar. So I would recommend for some of you who already or don't just yet work with research tool, to work with such tool and to learn the really methods of research within this tool, because it will just save you a ton of time. A time that you will then direct to things that will expand your business. And again, before continuing, I see a lot of questions, so I'll answer what is relevant. 30% profit without counting fees, right? No, 30% clean and pure profit after fees, after breaking even, after everything. What cashback do you use on Aliexpress? I will get to it. Just give me some time. How do you know if the seller is dropshipper? On eBay, it's actually pretty easy to determine if whether a supplier or a seller is dropshipping. You can mainly see the white background that he uses from Amazon. Amazon are known for their white backgrounds. You will be able to search by their UPC or by the image and find a supplier that sells it for a better deal, and then you'll of course know that he will most likely dropship from him, and this is the reason why his prices are higher. There are a lot of methods, just not relevant to us, so I'll not expand more than that. But if you want, you can PM me later. Maybe I can try and help you. To South Africa. I'm sorry, I just don't have time to go over business policies. I said that at the start. There will of course be more problematic countries that it is good that you will avoid, but I just don't have time to talk about it. If you have 1,000 listings, how many percentage listings that you list from Aliexpress? How many? Okay, there isn't a right percentage of listings that should be taken from Aliexpress, right percentage that should be taken from Amazon. If this is your question, you should manage it whatever way that you see best. I, for one, combine Amazon and Aliexpress in all my accounts, eBay accounts. There isn't a right percentage. Do whatever you want. I, of course, rely more on Aliexpress because I see a ton more potential in this website than on Amazon. But if whether 80, 60, 40%, it's your opinion, it's your decision to make. Are solar-powered products a good idea? Yes, why not? Okay, I'll continue. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit fast when I'm answering. I just learned that from the Hebrew webinar already. If I focus so much time on questions, I just don't cover all the material, which will of course be bad for you. And of course, you should already know that if I'm not answering your specific questions, or if I don't answer it in a way that you see fit, or you don't understand what I'm answering about, so simply raise a post in the Zik Analytics International group. You can also tag me. I will do my best to help you with this. You can also PM me, but I would actually prefer you not to, meaning that I'm more than happy to help everyone, but I will appreciate it if you can first post it in the Zik group. If I'm not answering there, sure, PM me. But if I'll see like 20, 30 messages, people PM me, which is a thing that I see after every webinar, it's just very hard for me to respond. It takes me a lot of time. So first of all, publish in the Zik Analytics group. Then people that also have some experience with Aliexpress would be able to help as well, not just me. And then, of course, you should already know, it's only logical. A lot of questions repeat. So meaning I can now get like eight people ask me about the cashback site that I'm using. But if you would raise a post, it would, of course, answer all of these 8 people. So I'm continuing. Okay, product research. So first of all, my tip for you, if you haven't watched the 6 mini course, watch it. Watch it, watch it, watch it. It is a free mini course that was developed by Nahar. It is a great, very, very short and very, very interesting webinar to watch. If you are using Zik Analytics, if you are not sure if whether you're using it correctly or I don't know, you don't think that you know all the possibilities, all the options, just use it. It's free, it's absolutely free. It's kind of short. Meaning that you don't really need to spend a lot of time into finishing it. Watch it, it's great. I hear tons of great reviews about it. Every single person that I directed to this mini course was just amazed, and 90% of them just got back to me and said how thankful they are for me sharing it. So it wasn't developed by me, it was developed by Nahar, but it's just great. So watch it if you're unfamiliar with Zik, or if you think that you have more to learn about it. It is important to keep in mind that bringing the same item for, and this is a question that I get every time. If you bring the same item that you see on eBay from Aliexpress, I don't know, the first one dropshipped it from Amazon, he brought it to eBay, he's selling a kitchen gadget, he's selling a fast slicing salad cutter, okay, and he's selling for $13, and you see the same item on Aliexpress, it doesn't matter how he's priced. Let's say that you buy it for $1. What I'm trying to say is that if you sell the exact same product, instead of, I don't know, $13, you'll sell it for $20.97 or $20.50, okay, 50 cents lower in price. Most chances are that you wouldn't sell. You would be able to sell, of course, to everyone, mostly to international sales. I think that in this kind of products, international is what you'll mostly get, because people in the United States will just rather spend 50 more cents and get their item faster. Also, the first one sure will already have some purchase history. He will maybe be stronger than us, maybe, and by stronger I mean that he has more feedbacks. Maybe he will be more time on eBay. Maybe he's selling for 8 years and his account is very well already established. Maybe most people with this kind of purchase history as well will already be ranked more better than us, meaning that he will show upper in search results. And people will see him first. And when people will see him and then see us, but see that he has like 20, 30 sales with good feedbacks, they will eventually and most likely go to him. But if, and this is what we will focus on, we'll bring an alternative. If we will bring an alternative, meaning an item that does the same work, the same type of work, but it will be different in color, in design, in materials. Maybe the material will be stronger, maybe it will be more heavy duty kind of a material, maybe it will be an accessory that is just the same, but there will be added accessories to it, meaning that it will be some kind of a bundle. And actually it's funny because bundle is what we are going to talk about later. So if the product, if you bring something that is better, something that is better by not just the price, but it will look better. For example, the image. If our product will be looking more quality than the first one, if people will think that our product is more quality, or I don't know, they would like our design better, or they would like our color better. We sell this pink salad cutter, and our potential client will just love this pink design. She will think that this is the most wonderful thing she's ever seen. So if we go to this thing, if we're doing that, and if a customer likes our design or our product better, these 50 cents wouldn't matter. The price will become less of a factor. And even if we would sell the item, the same kind of item, for $1 more, $2 more, sometimes even $5 more, and still we would ship from China and he will ship from within the United States, he will have such a faster shipping than us, and he will be with a better price, but the customer liked our design better. Mostly design wouldn't matter as much as a $5 difference and such a difference in shipping, but you get the point. Mostly I try to focus not on just a better design, but on greater or better products. I try to bring added accessories. I try to bring a product that will look just 10 times better by the image of it, and you'll find that on Aliexpress they have some very quality pictures on some products. They will have a $1 million looking pictures there. And some additional thing that you should focus on is really maybe bringing also larger bundles, meaning that if he sells I don't know, one salad cutter, I will sell two, and when you compare the prices, you will see that my deal is much tons better. When you add more units, it is easier to become more attractive in price, because it is possible that the AliExpress to Amazon difference wouldn't be as high. But if you multiply it by 2, 3, 4 units, you will see that the potential you have is much better. We'll of course talk all about it in the live examples that we'll do. But what I'm trying to emphasize, what I'm trying to say, that is, if you just copy and paste, meaning take a product that is being sold well, take it from AliExpress, market it 20 cents cheaper or 50 cents cheaper, $1 cheaper, you can make sales, and you will most likely make some sales. But the better option will be to always try and bring a better alternative. It is not hard. Mostly on the products that we will focus on, you will of course learn all about these kind of products. You will know what to focus on. You will know what are the easiest kind of type of products are. So this is a thing that you should know, you should remember. Picture yourself as the client and think what type of products will look more appealing. For example, let's share an example. I'm just thinking for myself. I'm buying now, I don't know, I'm buying a power bank, okay? I'm buying this portable charger that has this capacity, and I can take it in my pocket to events, and then I can just plug a USB cable, and I can charge my phone, I can charge my laptop, I can charge my iPad, okay? I for one have like 10 of these products. I always carry it with me. So this is an easy example for me. But I now search for a power bank and I see this deal. I see one person sells a good power bank, looks interesting, looks fine, the price is good, and I see other one that sells the same power bank or a different one, but he sells it with a USB cable, a cable that I need, a cable that I was intending, I wanted to find after I'm buying the power bank. I wanted to find a power bank and then go to eBay again and search for the cable. And now the person sells it like in a bundle, meaning one deal that gives me these two products that I need. You should add an accessory that people who want the first accessory will most likely need. Meaning that if a power bank, add a USB cable. If a kitchen gadget, maybe another kitchen gadget that does a similar job, but I don't know, they will need that too. If you buy, I don't know, a ring, so maybe add a gift box. If you sell, I don't know, if you sell a, a smartphone case, like a back case, so it won't break. So maybe sell also the tempered glass, because people who buy the case will most likely have a new phone, and if they have a new phone, they will also need tempered glass. So creating bundles is a great idea, and because this deal will be so much more comfortable for me to purchase and just get everything from the same supplier, then it will be the same for them, and then the price, I repeat again, the price will become less of a factor. And we will learn about bundles in this webinar. It's actually a little bit more advanced stuff, but I'm sharing in this webinar. We'll learn all about it. You will learn how to bring unique deals that are not on eBay just yet, and how to differentiate yourself from all the competition. It is really a very advanced and good technique to use. I use it all the time. Of course, not on all the products. It takes time to create a bundle, but it is a very, very nice technique that I use almost every day. Okay, a thing that you most likely already know, but if you don't, it's good that I'm going over that. You should focus on products that were already being proved as hot on eBay. On Zik, it's very, very easy. You can see just besides every single item, how much he's been sold in the last week, in the last 30 days. So focus yourself on products that are already being proved as successful. Otherwise, you would just waste your time with products that will never sell. Here you have a much better success potential. So we'll focus on this kind of product, and of course bring alternatives, as I'll teach you in the later phases in the live examples. Product research part 2, and then after this, if I'm not mistaken, I'll show you an example which is not live, which is like photographed, and then in a few minutes we'll also do a live thing. It is important that we'll learn how to detect what products have potential. And I'm saying again, only products that has been proven as successful. The best thing will be to set clear numbers to follow in Zik. For example, when we search for hot items in Zik, focus on products that has been sold at least 8 times in the last month or 3 times in the last week. This is what for example, this is what I do in my research. I know that some people will recommend 10, even I think Nahar recommends that, I'm not sure, but I use 8 times last month, 3 times the last week. But it is of course very, very important for you to note that you shouldn't really or too much limit yourself on those statistics. They are here to help you. They are here to show you where there is potential. But if you will just keep everything that is below that blindly, without like having this you thinking about it, maybe checking, maybe the products has been uploaded yesterday, but it already generated 7 sales in last month, not eight, but 7. This isn't a good example, because when we filter by the last week, it would still be good. But maybe it was uploaded yesterday and it already had 2 sales in the last 24 hours. It's still considered hot. Just one moment, I'm shutting my phone. I'm sorry, it's on silent, but it bugs me. I apologize. And one more example about that is an item that was sold 6 times last month, but it has $7 profit potential. This is a great product, and even if it will sell 6 times a month and not 8, or 4 times a month but not 8 or not 10, 4 times a month multiplied by $7 profit, it is a very nice product. You should also try and see the potential profit of that item. If the profit is high, it is okay not to have as many sales. at the end, we focus on profits, not just an amount of sales. We can have 1,000 sales with $1 profit. We can have also 100 sales with like $15 profit. At the bottom line, we should focus on profits. And I want to show you an example. I went to a competitor that I follow and I saw this deal. He sells this 10-pack of silicone wedding rings and he sells it for like $13.5. First of all, I think that you should note the product is generic and it can be found on Aliexpress. What I mean by generic, it's not a branded item. If it was, for example, an Apple device, I wouldn't go to Aliexpress. This is a kind of a product that you should avoid. You should avoid branded items because these kind of products, we won't be able to bring it from Aliexpress. They also have much more chances of error. It has a much more risk in those. And these kind of products won't be easy to find on Aliexpress, almost impossible. Some brands will be there, yes, but most of the products won't. So we will focus on unbranded items. It is very easy to find this kind of item on Aliexpress, and I know it. I knew it at the time that I searched for it. So statistic number one, this item is being sold on Aliexpress in a large variety, in a huge variety. So this is already interests me. Second of all, this product is hot. Yes, it is true that this statistics doesn't show you everything. It is possible that it was sold 282 times a year ago, and since then there was no sale, no new sales. But at the time that I checked, I really checked, and I saw that it is still selling very fast and very in large amounts. So the product is hot, and the product can be brought from Aliexpress. What I do now, because it interests me, is to take the key keywords, okay? The most important keywords, things like silicone wedding ring set. I went to Aliexpress. I, of course, don't show you all the phases. I will do it later. I just want to show you generally the point. Went to Aliexpress and I found this deal. 10-pack of wedding silicone rings, different colors, which is great because maybe people would like my colors better. It's an alternative, not the exact same match. And he sells it for $5. The previous one sold it for $13.5. So a lot of people would say, okay, you have a great potential here. If you'd sell it for, I don't know, $12.99, 50 cents cheaper, you can have like $6 profit, which would be great. But it's not enough. I already said, don't just bring an item for 50 cents cheaper. Always try to make it better. And yes, it has different colors, which is already interesting. It's an alternative, and there is a possibility that some people would like my colors better. But what I saw is that the store that I browsed this item for also have some related products. And this is what I do when I try to make a bundle. What is a bundle? Again, I repeat, this is a deal that involves several items that are related to one another, and everything is being sold in one deal. One purchase gives you a few products. So I went to his store. Mostly I do that in niche stores, and they are easily recognized. For example, when we will search for fish accessories, maybe you'll see Jack's fishing store, or go out to the ocean by Nick. You'll see the fishing and the main keyword in their store name mostly. Or you will see sports shop, and you'll know if he has one fishing accessory, maybe he'll have more because he focuses on sports, and fishing is some kind of sport. So I went to his store and I found the following. Okay, I found this gift box. You remember when I said if you sell a ring, maybe try to bring a gift box as well. And a gift box was sold for only 60 cents. It is a great price. It's a very cheap one, and we can easily add it. So I created this item, a 10-pack with one random gift box. Now when I look forward,
I guess that I could easily add some more boxes. I can add maybe with 3 random gift boxes. It's still a very good price. And if we sell gift boxes, we can already mark ourselves in a higher price. So for example, if I would sell this alone, I would try to be, I don't know, $1 maybe less than him. If we sell for 30.5, I would sell it for 12.5, maybe even 11.99. But now when I have gift boxes as well, I can sell it for the same amount, maybe 13.5, maybe even 13.99 dollars, but I have big gift boxes, and people will think that my deal is way more appealing because it will look nice, and if it's a matter of 40 cents, they will buy it with the gift boxes. It's like free gift. It's like yeah, it's free. It's kind of free. It's 50 cents more, or it's just same price, and then it's actually free. And even with the long wait, they'll prefer buying from us. So this is a great deal. One thing that I want to explain, it's actually pretty funny that I didn't see related questions, because this is a question I get all the time when I talk about bundles. It's about the monitoring. First of all, you should know that on Aliexpress, the monitoring is less important. The prices and the stocks are much more stable than in Amazon. So I, for example, worked with Aliexpress for 4 years without any monitoring services. The last 2, I was using a monitor, but it is possible to work without it. And on bundles, you can easily work on this kind of product list without a monitoring service, and just create the bundle, create the deal yourself. Or if you do want to monitor, you can monitor the first item and then the added accessory, which with the lower price, and that is just being added, not the main item that you're explaining in the title. This one you will have no monitoring for. But the first one, just monitor it as usual with your monitor software. And I see a question from Sam. When you do bundles, is it from the same seller on Aliexpress? Yes, this is a very good question, Sam. I thank you for asking that. I actually forgot to talk about it. It is very important for you to know that if you create a bundle from the same seller, 99% will be that he'll ship it together in the same package, which is great from us, for us, I'm sorry. However, if you can create a bundle from the accessories of the one seller, you want to browse one item from here, one item from there, you can also do that. Just make yourself a note that every time you sell that, you apologize to the client, you say that there was some kind of a mistake, and that they will be shipped separately. Because if your client will be promised the gift box and the pack of wedding rings, and he will get only the wedding rings, or even worse, he will get only the gift box, which is a 60 cents item, he will be very frustrated. He will think that there was a mistake. He will maybe give you bad feedback, maybe complain to eBay. I don't know what will happen. Maybe he wouldn't see the point of calling you and just leave a negative feedback, which will be a nightmare for us. So make yourself a note to send a message to the clients and say that they will ship separately, and they should expect 2 packages. Otherwise, you just open some room for complaints from your clients. So you can do that. I have some bundles from different sellers, but focus from the same seller. If you can't find a related accessory from the seller that you seen the first product from, maybe try to bring less good product from a different seller, but that has some related products. What I mean is that try to combine all the products from the same seller. It would be 10 times easier. Wonderful that it makes sense. Thank you, Sam. Okay, 2 more questions that just appeared. Just let me go over it, see if it's relevant. Okay, the price from Aliexpress is cheap. not change too much. So do we need to use any tool to monitor price stock for products from Aliexpress? Okay, it is better if you have some monitoring servers, but you can do it also without it. Today there are a lot of software that supports Aliexpress, so I see no point, no real need to work without a software. If it's a matter of 10, 15, 30, $40 a month, I would always choose to work with the softwares, mainly because of the lister. Lister is just amazing, saves tons of time. So I would work with a monitor, but you can also do it without it. Is it a good idea to obtain a product selling agreement with each product? No, Robert, I wouldn't do that unless you really need to, or unless eBay asks. It will be unreasonable to ask for permission from every different supplier on AliExpress. You will source 100, 200, 300 products, 300 agreements. It would be just awful. It would just slow you down. I wouldn't recommend it. If eBay will ask that, be sure that all sellers on AliExpress, unless maybe sellers with official stores of branded that are Chinese, all sellers will have no issues sending you an agreement. AliExpress, you should know, that supports dropshipping. All the Chinese sources that I work with supports dropshipping. They love dropshippers. You will be able to even make some deals with suppliers on AliExpress. So no real reason to do that. Moshe asks what monitor I work with. I currently work with DSM tool and Shopmaster. Shopmaster is, by the way, a Chinese monitor. This is the reason why at least some of you would be unfamiliar with it. Okay, there's also another question that I'll answer, just a long one, so let me go ahead and read it. Do we use items, shipping location, selections from China when we are researching for products in Zik? I'll show you in the live example. It's hard to explain it now. I'll continue because we will be competing with the seller who is sending items from China. If you're getting statistics from, okay, I will expand more about it on the live examples phase. It will be very hard to explain it now without visually showing that. I hope that I said it correctly. So let's compare between the deals that we have found. First deal, so yes, a large amount of time, so for 13.5, the price 13.5, the offer is 10 rings, and there's our deal. Our deals, the price is, let's say, $11.99. The offer is 10 rings plus 1 gift box, and the estimated profit is $4.5. What we've done here is bringing something that is not existing on eBay, something that is that unique, that interesting. It's something that, of course, being emphasized, and people, first of all, see us. When they see, imagine yourself, how many times you've been in eBay, you search for a product and you see that the first 8 results were the same product, exact same product with the same exact title. Just imagine yourself that we fit in the middle of it and we have this kind of image that shows our unique deal. People will see us first. They will see the person who is unique, because he will just meet the eye quicker. And our deal is, to my eyes, very appealing. It has a lower price, it has an added accessory that people who buy rings mostly need, even if they don't. If it's also cheaper and also with an added accessory, it will be kind of stupid not buying from us. I'm saying it with 100% confidence that I, as a client, would most probably buy ours. By the way, this is a kind of accessory that to most people wouldn't be a rush kind of product, meaning that they wouldn't need it tomorrow or in 2 days. It isn't like, I don't know, milk that they would need it immediately. This kind of products, they'll have, a lot of people will have no issues waiting for. The estimated profit, even with the added accessory, even with the lower price, is still very high. $4.5 profit Just let me remind you, we buy this deal for $5.6, so it's almost, if we compare between the source price and the profit from the deal, it's almost a 100% profit. We buy it for 5.6 and we make $4.5 for every single item that we sell. So this was a nice example. Some tips before we start. Some tips before we start. One, I highly recommend to browse the Aliexpress item at least one time. And this is a great tip. If you're unfamiliar with Aliexpress, what I would recommend is go to aliexpress.com, Google Aliexpress, doesn't matter how you get there. Check the categories, check the best sellers in every category, see what sells there. See what kind of products you should focus on. What kind of products are being sourced from China. What kind of products people have no problems waiting for and buy it from Aliexpress. Two, you can go into a site that is called Thief to check trending items and get ideas for what goes well on Aliexpress. I'll try to show the link later. It is a website that I, for one, discovered not that long ago. It doesn't do so much. It just shows you some trending items, some new items. It also gives you ideas. You can use it to get ideas from Aliexpress, from what sells on Aliexpress. I recommend making a list of good sellers to follow in Zik or in Excel and to keep it updated on a daily basis, meaning that getting ideas is great from competitors as well. If you see competitors that does dropshipping as well, save him, and then you will be able to get ideas from what he sells and bring alternative streams from Aliexpress. This is actually the best technique that I would recommend to a person. I have a huge amount of people I follow, and every single time I just check their listings, I check their best sellers, and I get ideas from it. And now, the last tip, I want to also show you the bonus that I've promised is the cashback. I also had a question about it earlier, and I told you to wait, and now you'll discover that the waiting was, how would I say it? It's good that you've waited. A special bonus to you. This is a bonus that I, until a week ago, I've only shared with people who either took a session with me or joined the China Masterclass course. The cashback bonus that I give you is, first of all, let me show you what site I use. The site I'm using is Simply Best Coupons. This is a site that offers a very, very nice percentage of cashback on Aliexpress. You can see that I get 8%. By the way, this 8% is not the percentage that everyone gets. Normal client gets 7%, and this is part of my bonus to you. Special bonus for people who sign up with the link that I'll provide you with. Aliexpress, instead of 7%, you will be able to get up to 8% cashback in Aliexpress. People who sign up to Simply Best Coupons get 7% by default. 8%, up to 8%, it will of course be a percentage that you won't be able to get on every category. If you want to check what percentage is being given in every single category, simply ask the support. They have amazing support. They have a live chat. I can connect you with the founder of this website, and you will be able to raise all your concerns. In addition to that, there's Banggood. Banggood is also a Chinese source, which is very, very nice. It has great customer support. It works like Amazon. It's a fulfillment center with its own products that are being shipped from China worldwide. Instead of 4% on Simple Best Coupons, you will be able to get up to 7% cashback on Banggood. Banggood, Aliexpress, two great sources that I use. Aliexpress is, to my opinion, is the best source when it comes to dropshipping from China, but Banggood is also great. The bonus will be given to people who register with the link below only. You know what? I forgot to share it. People who cannot wait until the end of this webinar, I'll show you now what the link is. So simply you can sign up with the link, and you will be able to get the better and the higher percentages. One moment, please. I'll share it in the chat. I will, of course, also make sure to update and to upload the link to the recording on the Zik Academy. I've sent the link. I hope you see it. Can you confirm to me that you see it? From some reason, I don't see it myself. I hope that you do. Okay, Sam says he sees it. Okay, great. So I won't lie, this is an affiliate link of mine, but if you use this link, you will be able to get higher percentages on AliExpress and then Banggood, and which will at the end save you a lot of money from the very first sale on AliExpress. Even if you have an account there, even if you don't want to use my links, I would highly recommend working with Simply Best Coupons. There are a lot of websites that provide cashbacks on AliExpress. Simply Best Coupons, to my opinion, first of all, with the addition bonus, it is the how would I say it? It's the highest percentage on AliExpress that I see for one, and I've checked it quite a few times. So it's a very, very high percentage, and also the most important thing is, to my opinion, is that Simply Best Coupon has amazing support. And unlike other websites that I would not talk about it, I don't want to like say bad things about other suppliers, other websites. Simply Best Coupons, I've never heard of a story that a client on Simply Best Coupons got his money locked up. And this is a serious concern that a lot of people who use cashback sites have. There are a lot of websites, especially with Amazon, that provides cashback, but after 2, 3, 4 months, all the money that you've earned is being locked. They say something like, you've violated our policies, and now we take your money. So in Simply Best Coupon, I don't say that it cannot happen, but I'm saying that I, until today, have never heard of a story in this website. Also, I'm with direct connection with the founder of this website. He's actually, I would say that he's amazing. He gives the best support. He has time for each and every client. He does a video chat. He shows you if you have some issues with the website. He has no problem setting up a meeting with you and to show you what goes on. I mean, he does give amazing support. He's a great person, and the website just works great. I face no issues with the website, and therefore I recommend using this service. Simply Best Coupons, this is the name, one word. Search it on Google, search it with the link I provided. Great website. Okay, and now the live example. Now we'll do a live example. So let me just quit this presentation. I'll just take Aliexpress. We can already close it. We don't need that. Okay, great. Okay. So Aliexpress, if you haven't entered Aliexpress until today, so this is how Aliexpress looks like. This is the homepage. Okay. By the way, I wanted to show you what Thief is. Thief.co is the website I recommended for checking. Okay, I need to sign in. I can sign it with Facebook, which is great. I'm not sure I remember the password. I hope this is the one. Yeah. Okay. So this is Thief. It shows trending, latest, most popular products from AliExpress. I think they work on commissions, like it's affiliate links. So if you like this watch, you go to AliExpress and then they earn some cashback if you purchase it. It's more for clients who are smarter than this, and we will not use their affiliate link. We will use the Simply Best Coupons one. It has the Thief Peaks. That these are products that I think the team of behind this website already covered, meaning gave feedback to and saw that they are good, or saw that the deal is interesting and recommended it. They have trending, latest, most popular, and filtering by price. They also have this banner Dropshipping. Check out Thief Supplier, super powered products discovery. This is a service that they charge for. I've never used it. I don't think you should. It is more wise to just learn how to find good products by ourselves. Besides that, the site is absolutely free. For example, if you go to fishing, we will be able that there's not a good a lot of selection, but there are 3 products that are supposed to be, I don't know, training or things like that. For example, this collapsible fishing net. I can click buy on Aliexpress, and then it will take me to the website, and I'll see that, I don't know, this net is interesting. I don't know, I already said that I don't know a lot about fishing. I don't know if the price is good, I don't know if it looks quality, I don't know anything actually. But even with my lack of experience, we'll try now to look for good deals. So this is site number 1. You can use it to check like interesting products, get ideas for products that are being sold. You have the selection of categories. For example, these glasses looks nice. This wall shelf looks cute. Maybe for the girl bedroom. Sorry. It has a lot of nice ideas that you can check. So remember, thief.co. I can even share it with you. Sent it. Okay. Tip number 2 that I already said, go into Aliexpress, check their categories, for example, computer office security, and check their best sellers. You can filter by all this here. I, for one, likes to do the gallery view, and then I'm able to see a lot of more products. For example, in homeware, security protection, you see all these cameras that can be brought very easily from Aliexpress. See how many cameras there are with good prices, how many sales they have. For example, this one, it has 8,000 feedbacks already. It has 14,000 orders. We'll go to it, and you will see all this information, see how much it sells. So this is how Aliexpress looks like. You can filter by products with 4 stars and up, best match, orders. I like to do this filtering, 4 stars and up, and orders to see what sells. And you can get ideas from it. You can go to different category, sports, fishing. Sports, outdoors, fishing, and we see also a lot of interesting stuff. We see fishing reels, fishing lures, lines, rods, combos, and fishing tackle boxes. For example, tackle boxes can be a very nice idea to sell on eBay, or to at least check the niche, see if there's potential in there. So it has all these combinations, all these tackles and things. This is, to my opinion, it will be kind of hard for me because I'm not sure what the items in it are or how much they're worth. It will be hard for me to create a bundle, but a thing that will be easy, I think, is lures. I don't think it's very hard to work with lures. It's just pretended lifelike fishes. So this can be a very nice thing. It's also very cheap and very, very small, meaning that I will have no problem shipping it from China worldwide. For example, this one, it looks so much alive. It looks great. So we can go to Zik, product research, and I don't know, look for fishing lures. Look for what sells in fishing lures. At the moment, I'm filtering by shipping location United States. Why I do that is because of a very important thing. I currently want to focus on products that are based within the United States and being sold from there. I don't want to filter by locations just yet. I'll show you why we do it later. I want to filter by United States. I want to get ideas for what sells within the United States. Why I do that is because the real potential, the real difference between prices is existing when we compare Amazon and AliExpress prices. If we'll do allocation, most chances are that people from China will rule the searches. People from China will sell these lures 1,000, 2,000, 300, 3,000 times, and people who dropship from Amazon will have just no real possibility to go as high as them. I want to see what sells within the United States. For example, if he takes the same fishing lure from Amazon, there's a possibility that he takes it for $8. And then if I'll discover this possibility, I will be able to bring better alternatives with a much better offers. So I want to see what is existing within the United States. They have different titles, they have different products, different designs, everything is different. So first of all, we'll focus on that. Then I'll show you why and when to use the allocations. And I see Sam has a question, and I remember that before he had wonderful questions, so I'll address that. One problem with AliExpress is the shipping time takes a very long time for the customer as to Amazon with, okay, it sounds that I've talked about it earlier, it does matter, but if we'll bring a better alternative, if we bring a better deal, people that are also within the United States will have no problems buying from us. It is also true to say that not all people within the United States are used to the Amazon service. Not all people buy from Amazon. Not all people has had the experience with a dropshipper from Amazon on eBay. There are a lot of people on eBay that buy from China. The Chinese sellers on eBay really take a very large percentage of the website. So not all people will be that disappointed from the delivery time. Also, again, international countries will have no problems because they will already be used to such long waiting times. But our aim will always be to bring such a good alternative so that the shipping time would be less of a factor. So filtering by United States and picking fishing lures. It is a possibility to enter like a kind of a number here. Why? Because I want to see things with, I call it meat. At least in Hebrew I say it. I don't know if it has some reason in English. Well, I mean that I want to search for products that I have potential in profit with. If I see items that are being sold for $2, I of course already know that my potential profit here is very, very low. And those kind of products have a very high chance of ranking the highest in search results. And because Zik limits us to 100 search results, we want to see products that has this meat in them. So I'm doing this search for products that cost at least $8, products that I have higher chances of making profit in. I'm selecting everything, the Zik selection, I check the niche, and I check for some interesting products. Maybe we'll get ideas from it. This is the first step that I do when I try to do niche research. Okay, while it loads, let me see if there are some more questions. Most products on AliExpress are on discount. What if buyer buys from us when discount is over? Okay, it is a good question. The discounts on AliExpress, just like in Amazon, are a big lie. They do these sales every single time, and it's actually funny. They raise the price before the discount in order to give discount. So the product has been sold for $5 like forever, but then he raises it to $9 and gives a $4 discount, and now it sells for the same price for $5, but with a $4 discount, which is absolutely a lie. So you shouldn't worry yourself about the discount. Additional thing will be that on most products, will be sold by not just one seller, but by many sellers on AliExpress. So if one raises his price, you can contact another supplier and will most likely find a similar price to what you had before. And a third possibility or a third option will be to just contact the supplier and ask him to adjust the price for you. You tell him that you sold the discount and now it's over. It's been like 24 hours since it was over, and you want this previous price. It's actually very common to do it on AliExpress. You can adjust the price, and people will have no problem adjusting the price as long as it's a price that he offered in the past. Will have no problem offering it again. And actually, fourth thing will be just work with a monitor, and then unless it took you a lot of time to actually purchase the item, you wouldn't face such issues. Okay, so we see the niche statistics. Everything seems very nice. 1,918% sold through, successful listings 53%. Statistics are nice, but currently they are not interesting me. I want to see nice items. It is of course already known that this niche it has a lot of potential. But what I want to find out is products that I can bring. Some ideas. I see this one has been sold 200 times. Sounds amazing. I, for one, really prefer lower myself. The product that has been sold 8, 10, 15 times. Why? Is because these kind of products will most likely have a much harder competition. It will be harder to compete against them because of the nice sell history, and because mostly those kind of sales will have, at least in broad niches, people who actually been sold the best in this large niche are usually people with this amount of feedbacks, and I'll have a very hard time competing against them. So I will try to focus on those kind of sellers, and then I'll climb until here. If I'll think that I have real potential here, I'll of course try to compete against him as well. But I try to compete against those because there will be easier competition. For example, this guy. Fishing lures, baits, tackle kit, crankbaits, spinner baits, bass, soft lure, tackle box. $12, sold 9, 400 feedbacks. This, for example, would be easier competition. I can search him. I can also have this lot of 30 pieces, fishing lures, crankbaits. This also interests me. I can scan the product. I'm trying to look for something that I have a real belief that I'm able to bring a better alternative from AliExpress. Something that is being sold for a high price, for example. For example, this one. What is this? A fishing lures, crankbait lot. Okay, it's 102 pieces. Hooks, frog bait, tackle, full toolbox. I don't know if it's expensive. I don't know if we can bring a better price. So I'll continue. 10 pieces fishing lures, crankbaits. This one interests me. Doesn't look like a fish that would cost a lot of money in AliExpress. 10 pieces here. Again, for example, he sells 10, but he sells it for $16. Oh, but he sells the rod as well. Okay. A rod is, for example, a product that I wouldn't focus on. I wouldn't try to bring from AliExpress. There were most likely some fishing rods in AliExpress, but this is a big product that will have some issues, maybe shipping it worldwide. This one looks interesting. 5 costume painted menu. This could be interesting. I'm checking that. I'm checking also that. This 5 fishing for $20. This one looks interesting. This one looks very interesting. Why are those so expensive? I'm not sure. This lifelike Sigemen swim bait bus crankbaits. This one interesting. Let's check this. I did scan product. I'm now checking his title within the United States, see how many sales there are with the exact same title. What I do now is filtering out things in the title that are irrelevant, or at least that words that people don't write in searches. For For example, lot. I wouldn't say that people search for lot. 5 pieces is not relevant. Why? Because 5 pieces is not a thing that people search for. When they search for baits on eBay, they don't look for the exact same set. They don't look for like 5 pieces set. Like maybe write a fishing lures set. That's it. Fishing lures, hard baits, lifelike segment, swim bait, bass, crank bait. These are only relevant keywords. I would remove everything that is irrelevant, like free shipping, like best price, like USA base or China base, or top selling item, or even thing like you know what, a fishing accessory. Why would I filter fishing accessory? Because yes, it's relevant, but it's so broad. People wouldn't actually search for that, and people who would search for that, it will face numerous competition because fishing accessory almost fits everything that is within fishing. Be more relevant, be more specific regarding your item. So I've removed everything that is unrelevant, and I'm searching again. Want to see if whether there are some additional sales that appear. And for example, there's him. He sells a 5 and a 10 pieces set. He has 2 options, and he sells it for 22. So they have 2 sellers that their items are based within the United States that have this exact same title. It is of course a possibility that I remove a word like crankbaits, and then a lot more competition will appear. Now, lifelike, for example, is another thing that is irrelevant. I can remove that, even though it is possible that someone will search for it, but let's check that as well. 3. But I'll edit back. So in US-based supplies, we have 2 to 3 sellers. Now what I'll do is search by all locations. Why I do that? What I want to see is if whether a person that works the same I do already entered the competition, meaning that he searched for a product that goes well on eBay and buy a US-based supply and brought an alternative for him from China. So if there is a product with this title that is being sourced from China or whatever other country than the United States, we will be able to find him now. It is important to look at that. Why? Because if there's a person that yesterday uploaded the listing with the exact same title, with the exact same offering, but sourced it from China, and he sells it for $12 and he has 5 sales already, he's a person that I want to consider and to check. And of course, if he has the same products I do with a better price and with a such purchase history, I wouldn't sell. I have a much harder time selling. So I'm doing search again, and I want to see whether someone else enters the competition. And I see now that there are already 14 people, meaning that there are 11 people that are non-USA based that sells the product. I'll mark everyone and do Zik selection. And now let's wait for the results. Meanwhile, see whether there's other questions. Okay, Sam, when shipping from eBay, it shows your location. For example, I'm USA, but if I drop ship from Aliexpress, it changed my location. It may seem to the buyer that they are coming from the USA when it's not. When do you do it? Okay, let's show this. No, you know what? This one is better. This one is from the China. Okay, this guy, there's no way to skip it. It says here clearly, item location, Shenzhen, China. Here it says the item location. It's supposed to say the same in shipping payments here. Shipping item location, Shenzhen, China. The customer cannot skip that. He cannot. I don't know, I forgot the word for it. He cannot go wrong about it. The only location that says where you live is here in your profile, which is a page no one checks. It says based in China. It says China here, but in the item here, it will only say what you state in the revised item location. So if it's your product, you would click revise item, and then you will have below option to choose the item location. You can say UK, you can say China, you can say Shenzhen, China. It doesn't matter. And you should, of course, do that. If you ship from China but says that you ship from UK, it's misleading. People will complain. It's not good to do that. You should, of course, be 100% transparent about the location of the item. So this is the search results that we've found. 300 sell-through, about 15% successful listings, which is quite low. Let's see what shows here. USA sold 26. He's the top selling item seller here. We have also this guy, $20. We have China. We have Chinese sellers with 0 feedbacks. Looks fishy. This is the guy. He was open on May 9, almost 2 months now, and no feedback, which looks very fishy. And he sells it for $5 when everyone else sells it for much more than that. Looks kind of fishy, even though he also sells it for $5. And this is, of course, a seller that we should know about. I'm not sure I understand what the difference between his and this. I mean, this one looks hell more better, but I think it does the same job, and I don't know if it's important for the fish. But what I can assume is that it's not interesting to client because people don't buy it. I assume that they are more interested in the lifelike version. This looks 10 times better, and even though it provides such a great price, people don't buy it. There's also this one that sells for $46. You see what he did? He actually brought a set that looks a lot better than this one's. It looks very, very nice. It looks very lifelike. And he sells it for 2 times the price, meaning that he also tried to bring the same as we did. He tried to bring a better alternative, and even with a higher price, he thinks that this will sell. So what we can assume from this search is that the potential here is not that great because there are a lot of sellers and a lot of versions, and not a lot sell. Actually, it's funny, everyone that is from China don't sell. There's only 2 people that sell, and they are based in the United States, and my assume is that they got here first, and then the Chinese seller try to bring alternatives to it. What I can do is go to the original listing and see if I can bring a better alternative than him. It doesn't matter everyone else. If I bring something that is new, something that is unique, something that is better, people will buy from me. However, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't explore to it this much because I don't really believe here. The competition is quite fierce, quite hard, and I do see that a lot of sellers do not succeed here. A lot of sellers cannot compete against those 2. I'm not sure what the reason is, but it doesn't even interest me. But if this product would interest me, what I would do is take the main keywords like fishing lures. I don't know what hard baits mean. Maybe it's for hard kind of fish to lure. It's like segment, I think, is the term for like the fish that are divided. I'm not sure what the aim for this is. As I said before, I don't know a lot about the fish niche. I've never tried fishing before. I don't know almost nothing about it. But yes, So you see there are a lot of relevant items, for example, this one or this one, that I can try to compete with. I would maybe focus on sets, or to find not one piece but sets. For example, these two sets is 18. It's, for example, 18 pieces. Adding pieces is also have this kind of thing. They look less good, but this is 18 pieces. Again, I would really explore into it more, but I don't really believe it. I will go into different one. And I see I have some questions. Do you have VAs working for you with your method that you're teaching now? Of course I do. I have VAs. When you get to a point in which you make profit and have open limits on eBay and really want to work the additional hours, but you can't, so bring a VA. It is a great thing to have. But be sure that you have the material and you are already experienced with teaching someone else, because VAs are very hard to train. Why you chose this niche? I have no idea why I actually hate it. I know nothing about it. And in the Hebrew webinar that I did, it was actually pretty funny, because I went every other second to Google Translate and just had to translate the terms, because I didn't know what crankbaits are. I didn't know what lures are, swim bait and bass and all those roads and things. I didn't know anything about it. It was actually funny. It would be 10 times easier for me if we would, I don't know, go with the power banks or with the electronic stuff. But yes, they chose fishing niche, so I'm sticking to it. So this product is not interesting to me. The competition is quite hard. I'll go to a different one. And we did search some very interesting. You know what? I also have it here. Let's look what was interesting to me before. We have this one, 30 pieces. Oh, I think this was the first one that was selling in very large amounts. No, it wasn't the no, yes, it was the first one. Okay, I wouldn't go to him, at least not now. He will be a very hard person to compete against. We have this one. I will remove 10 pieces. I remove lot. I'll do the search again. Sam asked if whether I'll show you how to negotiate with suppliers. I'm sorry, I cannot. I don't have time for it. And you should, of course, not apologize for asking a lot of questions. I'd love to answer. It's good. Be sure that every question that you ask, some people feel bad about asking, so it's good. Okay, so we have 4 sellers for fishing lures, crankbaits, jerkbait, hooks, mini bait, bass, tackle, rattle. Okay, now filter by allocation. I want to see if whether people with stuff that are based in China enters the competition, and I see that it didn't. No one entered, which is already good for me. No people with supply based in China entered the competition. Why is it good? Because people who enter with Chinese based supply will mostly ruin the competition by lowering the potential profit, lowering the prices. At least people that work from China but don't know how to make large profits. And we see that the South in the successful listings, everything looks great. It looks like a promising item. We see USA, 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 USA. Everyone is from the USA. They sell 10 pieces of fishing lures. Actually, the price isn't very high. I'm not sure if whether we will be able to compete against that. I don't know how much Aliexpress will charge for it. I think we saw a similar deal before, something like 28 pieces. I'm not sure what was that, but we'll try. It looks like a promising item. Let's now search for it. So again, I'm trying fishing lures. I think it will be a good idea to search for crankbaits because it's supposed to be for crankbaits, maybe even jerkbait. It is a very good possibility that filtering by those keywords will filter out a lot of great items. But I, for a person that don't know anything about fishing, wouldn't want to mislead my clients, and if there's something special about the colors or the design that only fits those kind of fishes, I want to be sure that I'm providing the same kind of lure that is for same kind of fishes. I don't want to write crankbaits and then say that it isn't suited for crankbaits, and I wouldn't know that because I didn't filter out such as in Aliexpress by filtering, by adding the word crankbaits. So crankbaits, jerkbait, I don't think I need to enter more fishes because it's already, if it fits crankbaits and jerkbait, it will most likely fit others because this is the design. I might, okay, see a lot of questions. When you upload your product to eBay, will you use the same title as your competition? I will rely on the original title that is already generating very well, but I'll of course try my best to make it a bit different and to of course add my personal touch to it. We'll try to show it this one time later. When you upload your okay, sorry, I still don't understand the advantage to search using location. I might have to watch this webinar again. If you mean why I filter first by products that were shipped from within the United States and then change it to the locations, I'll try to make it a bit more clear. First of all, when you try to find products, you should know that the best potential exists when you compare prices that are given within the United States to prices given within China. You want to search for products that are based from the United States and then bring alternatives from Aliexpress and from Chinese sources, because on these kind of products, the difference in price will most likely be bigger. And the alternatives that you will be able to bring from Aliexpress will be very, very unique because you're entering a competition of products from within the United States. So if he sells this, he takes it from Amazon, for example, and I'll try to search for it on Aliexpress, I will be able to mostly find something that is similar but different. I won't be able to find the exact same deal. Sometimes I will be able, because these products were sourced from China at first and then only brought to, I'm sorry, and only then brought to Amazon. So the first location of their whereabouts was in China. But I also face unique items because I source them from other supplier. And also, again, I repeat, the prices will mostly be much more attractive. But if I would filter by locations at first, I would mostly find Chinese sellers that sell these kind of products very well. And if I'll go against Chinese sellers, I will mostly lose because Chinese sellers on eBay have these kind of things mostly. A lot of feedbacks. They rely on very large volumes, and they have they make like 5-10 cents sometimes in profit. So I wouldn't want to go against them. But when you find an interesting product and you want to check the competition, it wouldn't be smart to just blindly check the US competition only. You should check everyone. So if you have on this title people from China that sells the exact same stuff for $2, you should take them into account. I hope I made it clearer. So this is why you do the second filtering later. One moment. Okay, so Joan asks, okay, no, sorry, not Joan, Robert. The shipping policy in eBay is needful, but a good idea to do a confirmation email with reminder of shipping times once ordered. Yes, Robert. I really recommend you to use automated messages, at least when you get the order and when you ship it out. This is a great place to remind our clients about the shipping times, tell them that they can see the estimation delivery time in the eBay order, tell them that if there's some mistakes, if there are some issues, to contact us first and not to leave negative feedbacks. Leaving those automated messages will just rank your feedbacks, the percentage of people who give you feedbacks, by a numerous amount, and it would help you avoid a lot of complaints, a lot of people who would then say a week later, where's my item? Because they did not notice your shipping times. They did not notice these estimations below the listing. Okay, so fishing lures, crankbaits, and jerkbait. I think this is a great search. We'll try that. We'll see if it works. Then, if it doesn't, we can always change our search. We can already see 853 results. I'm filtering by 4 stars and up as feedback, and I want to see what is being ordered the most. I can also say I want to maybe filter by set. I want to find sets to only see things that are has the word set in their title. And I see already 5 pieces, 7 pieces, 16 pieces. He sells 10. I can sell 16. This is already interesting. 10 for $9. Okay, this is not a good deal. 5 pieces for $2. This is interesting. 10 pieces for $8. 6 pieces for $12. I have all these kind of deals. But what I want to do now is to check the store names. Official store, Polo, I don't know how to read Polo. Okay, this Polo guy has it all. Tuya Fishing Store. You can easily recognize that this is a niche store. This is a niche store. Same niche store, same niche store. Sporting store is not a fishing store, but it's a great possibility that he has some fishing accessories. So for example, these 5 pieces are being sold for $3. He sells 10 for $9. These can be interesting to us. But in order to make it more interesting, why I checked for niche store is because I want to check his store and see if he has some relevant items. If, for example, I put the word fishing and search in this store, I will be able to see everything that is related to fishing. I'm not sure why. Let's refresh the page. I think there was an issue here. Why doesn't it work? I have no idea. So let's do by category. Here, fishing zone. So he does have some fishing accessories. So for example, let's imagine ourselves as the client. Let's say that we sell this 5 pieces, or even we can sell 10 pieces. If we would sell 10 pieces, it would cost us like $5.6. You could just put 2. And then let's filter by United States. Okay, if we do 2, we'll be needing to pay extra. So it will be $7, which will be almost as high as 9. But we can still do something more. First of all, we can do maybe 3. Okay, 3 is still 1.47. 4 is still 1.47. Okay, great. So only the second set adds the shipping price. We can do like 15 pieces and buy it for $9.72, meaning that I buy almost for the same price he sells, but I buy 15 or I buy 20. Sorry, this was this one. I can sell 20 pieces. I can sell 20 pieces. I buy it for 12. I could sell 20 pieces for, I don't know, he would sell 20 pieces for $18. I could sell it for $16.97. Yes, it's not a great profit, but I'm into doing more than that. I'm into going into his store and check there if there is a relevant item there and maybe create a bundle. For example, there's coated braided steel and wire fishing. I'm not sure. I think this is for the road. I can, for example, add this one. This is a thing that people who are into fishing will need. It's a coating wire leader, coating jigging wire. I think this is a thing that everyone who are into fishing need. But maybe we'll take something that I'm a bit more familiar with. For example, they sell worms. Is it real worms? No, artificial ones, obviously. So artificial worms. This is a thing that will interest people who are into fishing that it is being sold for a very low price. We can buy a set of 20 for $1. So for example, imagine this. We sell 20 pieces of crankbaits that look amazing. The picture is very quality compared to this one. 20 pieces of crankbaits with 20 pieces of artificial worms. We can buy everything for $12.47 plus 1, $13.47. $13.47 for 20 fishes and 20 worms, and we can, I would say, easily sell it for like $90.99. $90.99 equals 2 times this deal plus the 20 worms. If we would want to buy 20 fishes, we would need to pay $18. So people now ask, add $2 and get 20 additional worms, or maybe 40 worms. You can sell for $90.99, 40 worms and 20 fish. We buy it for $14.47. Our profit, I would say, would be at least $3, $3.5 even, I would say, which is nice. It's not the largest profit, but it's nice. We can easily make a bundle. It's not hard. We can do like paint. We can like I would try. It's sucks that we don't have a picture of all the fish in white background, but we can take like this. We can take like this. I am doing it in the most unprofessional way just to show you. I would check like a good example, maybe this one. I would try to search for something that I can make a good picture with, something with white background mostly. I would do something like this. I would actually use Photoshop. It's much easier for me, but it's quicker with paint. So like 20 fishes plus 40 artificial worms free gift. I can even do it like that. Just an example of emphasizing our, sorry. Just write it, 40 fish, 40 worms, gift. I would of course write it much better than this. I just want to do it quick, show you what I mean. You can do it like that. And then create a very nice picture that shows how much you are better than him. I would of course do it better. I would maybe select one with white background, maybe look here, maybe look at what clients have taken picture of. It also has a mouth. Okay, obviously in the client's place there are no better images, but maybe if I write worms here, okay, his search doesn't work, but maybe here, maybe this picture will have a white background, maybe I don't know, this one, maybe he will most likely have different one, but even if not, this is a nice picture. Just improve the text, just improve the I don't know how it looks a bit, maybe choose a different picture, maybe something better. If you are familiar with Photoshop, you can even tag this black background. It's very easy actually. Just remove it and do white background. It's supposed to take no more than 10 seconds. And yeah, this is how you create a bundle. So just imagine yourself, we sell 20 pieces with 40 worms. It's a unique deal. Person that buys this will mostly need also these artificial worms, which is also for fishing, which is also nice, and people buy it a lot of times, meaning that it has demand. So this is one example. Let me answer your questions just a moment. When you upload your product to eBay, will you use, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I read that already. The shipping Okay, sorry, wait. When you want to send to the whole world, do you need to upload to each eBay arenas separately, or is it enough to one arena? If you would upload your product within ebay.com, but will offer shipping worldwide, you will of course show in all international sites, but you will show just as international seller, meaning that you will be a little bit less emphasized than other sellers, but you will still show. There's no real need to upload on every platform, even though it is a good idea. You can, I would recommend you to just take your best selling items and not just duplicate each and every item, because it's just time consuming. Okay. Nice calculation, but the guy selling his item from US, why customer would choose your item with a long shipping time? Because I give them for the same price more things. I gave them for the same price 40 worms as well. When it's not about money, when it's about free stuff, people will reconsider if whether the fast delivery really equals the added stuff that they can get. And of course, I will try to always make my deal a bit better. This wasn't the nicest example because the pictures don't look that good. It has background colors, and the price wasn't, and the profit wasn't that high. In many scenarios, I will be able to make much larger profits, and then if I want to really make my dealing more appealing, I'll just lower my price a bit more. Here I'm just not allowed to do so, so I'm selling about the same price. He would sell 2 for $18.40. I'm selling for $19.99, $1.5 more, but I'm adding 40 more worms that he will most likely need to pay a few extra bucks within the United States in order to get. It's also very comfortable for him to get everything in one package. In case he buys this, there's a very good chance that he will need, maybe not now, but in the future, these added worms as well. It is a possibility that this is a product that he wouldn't buy otherwise, but if it's added in one deal, if it's a free gift, he would buy it. I would say make your picture more appealing, add some text that says a free gift, 40 worms, 40 quality artificial worms for your fish, I don't know, and it will just, the deal would look more appealing. Can we see this video later somewhere? Of course, there will be a recording. I assume it will take at least 2 or 3 days for it to be uploaded to the website, but you will be able to see everything. Can you please share us the shipping policy? I'm sorry, I already said before, I have no time to discuss about the policy. It's not a thing that you should just copy and paste. This is something that you should learn. This is something that you should understand. In Aliexpress, the shipping policy is not just as in Amazon. It's more complicated than that. It's different policies, it's different locations, it's different prices. This is a thing that I would highly recommend you to study easily. And countries that we have exclude. Okay, I'm sorry, it's the same relations. And the guy is not selling his item with free shipping. Please check it. Sorry, this one is free shipping. This one I calculated 1.47 extra bucks. By the way, this is actually quite quickly shipping. This is a 12 to 20 days, 2 to 3 weeks delivery time. So it's not a 1-2 month delivery. The guy, your competitor. Oh, what's that? But is that, oh, this is in Israel, sorry. United States most likely sells this with free shipping. Free shipping within the United States, but this is also interesting. So, for example, if I'm a client from Israel, like I really am, and I want to buy his fishes, I need to pay $7 more, 6.5. However, if I would buy from my new listing, meaning that the product that I'll upload, I'll add only 40 more cents. 40 more cents. To the United States, it was 1.47. Now it's 1.89. I would add 40 more cents. So to client from Israel, I'll just be much more appealing. I'll have a much better price. So as I said before, he will most likely rely on either a global shipping program or any other method of shipping. He will also exclude all these locations. So to international clients, I'll have a much more appealing deal. This is also a thing that you should consider. I don't think he's a drop shipper. He ships from a very specific location. He excludes a lot of things, and his prices are not prices that would have been taken from global shipping program. I think. I can't know it for sure, but I think that he is not a drop shipper. Should I choose a shipping type that can be tracked? It's not mandatory. All shipping methods from China can be tracked, but a lot of them cannot be tracked outside the territory of China. There are shipping companies like China Post Origin or Small Packet Plus, like Singapore Pro, Singapore Post 4PX Pro, that can be verified only within China, and then after it leaves the territory of China, it cannot be tracked anymore. It is mandatory to ship with tracking information. Just know that if you don't have tracking information that shows delivered at the end of the process, you will be open to clients who you will open to cases against item not received. Can you please calculate the profit on this item? It's actually pretty easy. I do it with a sheet because I also calculate cashback. It's kind of hard for me to measure everything, but the break even I'm using on Aliexpress is like 40%. 40%. I only calculate PayPal and eBay fees up to 9.50%. PayPal is about 4.4% more plus 30 cents, which is about 40%. I would say that my profit here, if I'm taking the 14.47, and it's like for 90.99, would be about $3.5, I would say. So this is thing number one that we can do. Let's do another example. I hope that I have some more time. It's actually very long webinar, but I'll try my best to find at least one more example. We're already more than 2 hours on the air. So I'll try to find one more example to really make things sink in your mind. For example, what is that? Wow, it's so tiny. This, I think, will be amazing because these are so tiny, so it will be very cheap, I think. Fishing lures, kind of minnow fish, this can be nice. It's also very similar to the product that we found, and we saw that there's a great thing that can be bought from so many sellers on Aliexpress. I'm doing the same thing, lot, 10 pieces. Lures kinds of minnow. I don't think kinds of is searchable. However, when I remove so many words, I will most likely face a scenario in which there are so many added. You see, so many added. So it's not a good competition. Only because of his weird kinds of 10, there was like a unique competition. It's not unique, it's only that he's used a word that no one searches for or no one puts in his title. So let's try to look for something else. This one didn't stock. What is that? Trout, spoon, metal, fishing lures, tackle, fish. A lot of 30, but they look very, very small. This can be nice. What's everything is just looking what this is interesting. What is that? Sabiki 5 shrimp rigs glow in the dark. 5 shrimps for $3. Wow. It's interesting, even though I don't think that we could bring a better alternative. It's sold very cheaply. Okay. Okay, these have already been sold so many times, so I assume the competition will be first there. Lot 30 pieces. Let's do search. Sabiki, I'm not sure what this is. I think it's the brand. But Sabiki is not relevant to me. 5 is not relevant to me. Okay, 100. 13. 13 is good. 13 is good. I'm not sure if we can bring, but we'll try at least one more product. And this one with 100, so it's not good for me. And yes, it is being recorded, and it will be published within a few days. Eric, I do advertise it with free shipping. It's very important that you'll have free shipping at least to the United States. Regarding the amount of days, again, I have no time to discuss and to configure with you the policy. The shipments are usually about 3 to 4 weeks. With this message, we will list only some items because the research takes time. Yes, it is true. If you was at the start of this webinar, you've most likely heard me saying that I, for one, really prefer to have less items on the air but of more quality. I pick one by one my products. I spend the time to do proper research and prefer having a store of 300 products than a store of 3,000 products. But with 300 items, I do more than what most people do with 2,000-3,000 products in the air. At the end, it comes to profit, and it comes to profit per sale. I rely on really quality products with high profit percentages. How many competitors maximum are you looking at? In Zik, for example, you said 15 is good, 100 is not good. Yes, it's also a statistic that you should promiscuously know. More than 30 sellers is considered harder. However, again, as I said before, with the 8 and 3 rule of this sold in 30 days and sold in the last 7 days, you shouldn't limit yourself too much. There are a lot of competitions with 50 sales, 60 sales as well that I enter, and I see great statistics, and I see that there's still room to enter. Don't limit yourself too much, but know that more than 30 sales is already hard competition usually. Most scenarios will be that where 40, 50 sales stand, the successful listings will be low, and the competition will be hard because it will be just hard to make yourself unique compared to 50 sales that will most likely have different variations of the product. It just be more hard. Is it good idea to only ship to US and use global shipping program to ship worldwide? It will be very unwise to use global shipping program with Aliexpress because Aliexpress ships worldwide for free mostly. Global shipping program will charge a lot of extra, and because shipping from China to the United States alone takes 3 to 4 weeks about, and from United States to ship to your client will take obviously a few more weeks extra. It will be very slow. Why ship from AliExpress to United States and from United States to Italy, for example, when you can ship from China to Italy for free directly? What payment you use on Ali? What payment method? I use my USD balance credit card. You cannot use PayPal. It's good that you mentioned that. PayPal only a very small fraction of the AliExpress sellers accept. So USD balance credit card. I live in Israel and I have this card. It's not a problem to get one. You can use Payoneer if you don't know of a service that can generate you such card. Most banks will be able to provide you with a USD balance credit card. This is the payment method I use. Okay, the statistics looks good, the product looks interesting, it's LED, it's nice, it's futuristic. I would try to see if I can obtain a similar item from Aliexpress. So I would say shrimp, glow bait lures. I don't know. I'll try to search for this. Let's try. I've never seen such a thing. I don't know what's the good about it. Maybe it will be just easier for fish to see it in the dark times of the day, or in very, very deep ocean when there's dark and you cannot see anything. I don't know. We have jellyfishes, octopuses. I'll filter for stars and up. I'm not sure why these are shown to me. I have this beaky rigs. Rigs is also a thing that he wrote. I'm not sure what rigs are. Maybe it's also an animal. I'm releasing for shrimps. This is a shrimp. He sells 4 pieces for $2.25, but he has 2.5 extra shipping. He has a 3-pack for $2. I don't think it's free. It's $1 more. I don't think that we will be able to provide a better deal because I already said before it is a product that, you know what, wait. Yeah, this is a product that is being sold for a very, very low price. And it actually has only one variation that is being sold for $2.99. Other variations are sold for $3.88. It's also a technique on eBay. You sell one variation for $1, and all other variations for $19, and people in search will see that you sell it for $1. I personally don't like it because people just get frustrated, but it's a technique for making more people click on you. Do you use only ePacket? No, I use all shipping methods. Also with untracked airmail. Do you list variations listings on eBay? Yeah, I list variations. Most of the Aliexpress is variations, or at least 50%, I would say. So you wouldn't be able to avoid this kind of products. You would just limit yourself so many items. Okay, 5 pieces, 100 pieces. Maybe on a larger set it can be appealing. But again, I don't see how you can provide a better alternative. I don't think they also don't have such offering for this kind of thing. Glow baits. Let's try another thing. Or rigs. I'm not sure what rigs is, but I think it's the animal. Okay, 50 cents, but he has shipping. Okay, this is interesting. It looks just the same. 55 cents for 5 pieces of surf rigs, fishing lure, glow in the dark, shrimp bait. It looks amazing. It looks exactly the same. Looks exactly the same as he. The pictures are very quality, even though they do not show. I would definitely take this thing and maybe put it in this image because it shows all the 5 and it shows a very nice example of the fish. But I would take this one into this one and we can actually buy for 50 cents. So this can be a very hot selling item. I call it a traffic item that is being sold very a lot of times because it just has a very low price. So I can sell like again, it's not a lot of profit. It's a great profit percentage, but it's not a lot of profit. But it can really be a traffic item that is being sold. Just imagine having 1,800 sales. So I can sell it for like $2.99, maybe. Maybe he has more related products and we can do a bundle. $2.99, even $1.99, you'll have $1 profit for a traffic item. It's okay, even though I wouldn't do that. I would sell for at least $2.5, making like $1.5 for this. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be worth my time. Maybe create a bundle with fishing. Maybe making this one plus, this is the thing. Maybe with the, what is that? You know what, we can even do, this will be better. Okay, great. We can say 25 cents for $4.99. Just imagine, $4.99, it's already about $2 profit, which is okay. We can even charge $5.99. He will provide about more than $10 for a 25 pack, okay? More than $10 for a 25 pack. We can say $5.99, $4.99, and the price will be nice. I don't think that anyone buys 5. 5s are run out so quickly. We can even check it out. Let's see how many people buy. You know what? Yeah, most people. There are some people who buy 2. Oh, no, sorry. 2 packs, 10 packs, 4 packs, 10 packs. See how many people buy. No one buys 1. I mean, there are a lot of people who buy 1. But if you would sell 25 for about $1-2 more than what he sells 5 for, it would be such a better alternative. This is a very good example for what is a better alternative is. We give a very, very good price. We can even sell, okay, here we already have shipping. We can sell, I don't know, we can sell 8 times 5, which is 40. We can sell 40 for $7.99. About $3 profit. $8.99, okay? $8.99. No one would buy for $4 when they can add 4 more dollars and get 8 times his deal. Okay, let's see our questions. Do you list variations? I answered that. Do you use only Picket? I answered that. What listed that work fine for Ali? I personally use the SAM tool. I use Shopmaster, but there are a lot more. Yabole works with Aliexpress. RTDS works with Aliexpress. SKU Grid. There are a lot of monitors. I wouldn't recommend only one. Do you also negotiate with the seller for better deal? I mostly negotiate for products that are not 50 cents. I negotiate for products that are at least $6, $7, $8. Mostly less than $10. I don't think my time will be worth the small discount that he will bring. But if I'm saying a $11 product for more than 10 times, I will definitely send him a message to ask for a better price. First of all, I want to try and show him that I'm good enough for him. I wouldn't say good enough. I would say that there's so many people that try to negotiate prices before actually proving to the supplier that you are good, that you are selling his item. I can't tell you enough how much for example, on eBay, I get so many people who want, they say, I'm a dropshipper, I want a discount. I just don't answer those guys. Or I say, first time pay normal, on your next order I give you a discount, because this is a technique people use to get discounts, and this is time consuming for me. I don't answer those. And on Aliexpress, because it's way more common than on eBay to negotiate prices, they get it all the time, and they'll mostly just ignore this kind of people, unless you of course show yourself as a person who buys from his store 10, 15, 20 times, and then he will be more likely to give you a better deal. What handling time we can use for Ali? I would say at least 5 business days. Again, I wouldn't explore more into the shipping policy, but if you're asking about handling time, which I can of course explain very, very easily, no less than 5 business days. What average selling price for your items? I sell very, very cheap items. I focus on that because this has the greatest offering on AliExpress. So usually about $10 selling price on eBay. 10 to $15 buying price on eBay. I wouldn't, but of course, keep in mind that on this kind of products, I have much more than 10% profit. You can see how from a $4.4 profit dollar, I can make $3-4 easily. For example, if I sell for $8, I'll have about $3 profit for a $4.40 product. There's also so many examples of products that I buy for $1, say for $10. Sounds like a good dream, but it has it on Aliexpress so many times, especially with bundles and especially with products with the differences, the amazing differences between Amazon and Aliexpress. For example, wall decals. I can't tell you how many times I see a person on eBay takes a wall decal from Amazon for about $6, sells for $9, for example, and I see the same wall decal on AliExpress for $1 for 80 cents sometimes. There are some products that has huge differences. It's mostly cheap items, generic items, small items that have very low shipping fees. Okay. Do you tell the seller not to ship with invoice? People don't do that on AliExpress. You don't need to ask them for that. This is a good question, actually. Do you calculate profit without eBay's fees? I calculate the eBay fees, of course, in the break-even. My break-even is about 14%. Okay, guys. I think that I answered all your questions, and I think that we have shared some very good examples. And I highly believe that we've went over all the material that I at least planned on going over. This, I think, was a very, very nice webinar. We've been together for, where do I see the time? Where do I see the time? It was, okay, I don't know from the software, but I do know that we've started 9 p.m. Israel time. Now it's 11:30, so 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours we've been together. This was, I think, very nice. The recording we will, of course, publish this well. Give it a few days. I think it will take at least 2-3 days for us to upload it. It's not, if it would be me, I would upload it in a few hours, but it's not about me. The software who did Zik should enter it. It's about inside the academy. It's supposed to be there, so it would take some more time into uploading it, but it will go there. In the Hebrew webinar, it took 3 days, so it will go out. I can stay for a few more moments if you have more questions. Currently, I see that I've answered everything. And thank you, Bill. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone. I really do hope that you've enjoyed it. And I see one more question. Yes, Sam. What do you say for negotiating? Okay, I have a template for that. What I usually say is, hello. I don't know if you notice, I already sold your products X times, for example, 10 times. I'm a dropshipper. I have several stores, and I been selling your item for the past few weeks, month, I don't know. I would highly appreciate it if you can give me a better price, because I want to be more appealing to my clients and to, of course, enhance our business relationships. It will, of course, help me stay more attractive against my competitors, and to, of course, at the end, at the bottom line, buy more from you. It is, of course, important for you to let him know easily, of course, more direct, that there's other sellers that sells the exact same item. Even if there aren't, tell him that. But tell him also that you prefer keeping buying from him because he is trustworthy and he did good on your past orders. Something like that. Just combine something, write it aside, have it like a template, and then sell it to every single supplier that you've worked with, made a lot of orders, and you think that his discount will be worth the trouble. How we check the supplier, I'm very sorry, but checking the supplier is a thing that I usually explain for at least about 30 minutes. It takes time. There's a lot to say in that, and we don't have time in this webinar to talk about it. There are a lot of things that are in Aliexpress that I didn't have time to talk about because it takes time. Usually when I do sessions with students, I talk about it at least 3 hours, and it's one-on-one, it's much quicker. I mean, I can talk about Aliexpress for hours. This is what I'm trying to say. But we really did go into some advanced techniques. This is advanced techniques. This is bundles. This is a thing that until now I haven't shared with anyone aside my personal sessions and groups. So how can I contact you again, Sam? It's actually very easy. Just one moment. I share with you my Facebook page. Today, I don't think that we'll be able to answer any questions because it's very, very late where I am, and I'm actually pretty tired. I will be more than happy to help you. A couple questions tomorrow. You can. This is my profile. You can see my profile here. Daniel Greenbaum. Simply write it and search. You will be able to see me. You can PM me. I will try my best to reply ASAP, and to of course help you if you have any questions. Is it possible to get the presentation file you have there for reference and study? This is actually another thing that I thought about sharing. PME tomorrow, maybe I will be able, it's just a thing that I wouldn't want to go out. This is a presentation that I've worked for at least 3 hours. PME tomorrow, maybe we will be able to do something. But the recording is there, so you have of course that, which is much better than just a presentation because you hear me actually explaining about it. Bill, you should say something about your China class. It's top-notch stuff. Thank you, Bill. I highly appreciate it. And yes, actually, I didn't intend to, but guys, if you stay until now, it means that you're really into sourcing from China. It means that it interests you. And you should know that if there's if you want to really enhance your knowledge in that area, if you want to learn more about shipping from China, if you want to learn more about AliExpress and really how to, in the most advanced techniques, find products from here, you can check out our China Masterclass course, a course that we have in Hebrew, we have it in English. China Masterclass, I can share, it's actually good that you said that, Bill. Give me one moment. If it interests you, I can share it with you, the link to it. One moment. Oh, you know what, in English, we actually don't have such of a sales page that really explains deeply what the program is about. You can PM me. This will be the first thing that I would recommend. I can give you all the data about it. You can PM Nahar Geva, of course, the Ari Kraz, if you know him, he's also a colleague on this course. So you can ask us about it. We will be more than happy to give you details. I haven't prepared the link in the English page. Let's see if I have it. Meanwhile, of course, feel free to ask more questions. I'm here. I'm searching for the link. I'm sure I have it somewhere. One moment, guys, I'm sorry. But you can also either PM me, as I said before, or you can post a question about it in the Zik group. Then either me, Nahar, Ari can respond. All of us would be able to give you more details about it, to answer. You would of course also have some students that will be able to give you some questions, some answers if you publish it in the Z group. in the international group of Zik, the open group that of course also we have a lot of students from this group. I'm sorry, I don't have the link. I don't know where it is. But I would love to share it with you tomorrow. I will search for it and I'll share it, so we'll have it. But again, I'm just saying again, it doesn't show all the data. It shows only very few. What it will be best, you know what? Just recommend. Just remember, we have a webinar that we've made. Actually, Naharmed, I went with him. You know what? I didn't went with him. I went with the Hebrew webinar, and the English webinar Nahar did a couple months ago when we first opened this course, a webinar about the situation of e-commerce today and about the possibility and the potential of dropping from China. And then he talks about all the potential. He talks about this new thinking, this new supplier, and he also, at the end of the webinar, about 20 minutes to the end, he talks about our program. He talks about what we cover, about everything that we do, and about MeBuild. So this is a thing that you should watch. This is a thing that I think also find now. So again, give me one more moment. It was in the webinar page that we have. I think I'll show you this link. It's a free webinar, of course, even if you don't interested in our program, you can learn about it a lot because it really talks about the potentials of drop shipping from China. So again, even if you intend to do it alone, it will be very good for you to learn from it. And this is the link. I've shared it. You can register and watch the recording. It says here, this is the page. This is how it looks. Watch how adding Aliexpress as supplier will triple your profits as an eBay dropshipper. Nahar is of course doing this webinar. I think it's a 1 hour webinar. I'm not sure. You can watch that. And again, you can either PM me, either post on the Zik group. I would love to give you more details about it. And guys, again, I don't see any more questions. Again, I really invite you to ask me anything that was unclear regarding what we've talked about, regarding things that maybe I've missed, regarding the deals I found, regarding the research. If you have any questions, I'm still here. So really use this time now. I'll give it a couple more minutes. If no one would ask anything, I think that we'll call it for the day. It's been almost 3 hours. Almost 3 hours. And thank you, Bill. I really appreciate the kind words and your suggestion. It's a good idea to show our program here. Yes. You're most welcome, Phil. I hope you enjoyed it. You have enjoyed it. Right, meanwhile, I'll go over some of the questions that I might have missed because the chat was really active here. Maybe I've missed something. Reviews, I see that I've answered everything, I think. Yeah, I think no, I answered this. Okay, I think I've answered everything. Guys, don't you have any more questions? Nothing else? I'll wait 2 more minutes. If you have a long question, just keep me in mind. Tell me that you are still writing, so I'll know. Oh wait, I do see one. When you do bundles, is it from the same seller or not? Oh, okay, I've actually answered this, but you know what? Let me repeat it while I'm waiting. You can do bundles from different sellers on Aliexpress, but it would be shipped separately. Just apologize to your client, and tell him that there was a mistake and that's been shipped separately. Maybe even add additional bonus, additional very cheap thing, and it will still be good profit on this deal. But try to bring everything from the same supplier. Set for niche stores like I found. You see, set for the name. Like if I write fishing, I'll see niche stores like sports might have some fishing accessories. He has a niche store on fishing. Gata Fishing is also a fishing store. So many niche stores. If I'll go into electronics, like I would also be able to most likely find at least 1, 2, 3 niche stores. Artillery, electronic, this is a niche store. Maybe a niche store. All goods for our free shipping store. See how fun, what a funny name. Tensor module electronic store, module fans, electronic official store. All of these are electronics. If I'm searching for kitchen gadgets, everything has niche stores. Aliexpress, it's very common to have a niche store. Kitchen online store, official store, FIPO store, Love and Life. Maybe Love and Life is household accessories, is also for cooking stuff. Innovative kitchen store, Beloved store, Sangolori kitchen store, party decoration store. Okay, so many different things. Okay, has a few more questions. Joan, I want to join the masterclass. Okay, great, wonderful. PM me later. Of course, be more than happy to assist you with that. How much do I pay? The China Masterclass course is currently 397 euros, or 3 payments of 145 euros. This is the amount of the course. PME, I'll show you exactly what you get for this amount. I'll give you all the details. You can, of course, also, I repeat, go to Nahar, go to Arek. They will, of course, also be more than happy to give you all the details. Do you look for e-packet shipping always? No, I don't limit myself only to e-packet delivery. There are a lot of great things that they can provide you with. There are Aliexpress standard shipping on cheap products like mobile case. There will be a lot of times that the e-packet delivery will be offered for additional amount. For example, not this one. Let's search for something very cheap, like $2. Maybe this one. This one is great. 1.7. You see that the e-packet, if they have it, no, they don't have it here, won't be offered for free. Everything that is considered premium with tracking information will be extra. There's no real reason to limit yourself only to these kind of products. You just need to measure your risks. If you don't ship with tracking, you will be open to cases against reason item not received. It will be very easy to get their money. But of course, you need to measure how many times this will happen, because it won't happen this many times. And if you can save $3 every single time for this product, it would be amazing. Just measure your chances, measure your risks. I, for one, use all the shipping methods Aliexpress has to provide. What shipping you use mostly? I use mostly China Post. This is the most famous, most popular and known shipping method in China. Also, by the way, e-packet is a method of China Post. It's part of China Post. Are the tracking number trackable on eBay? It depends on the company. E-packet tracking numbers are valid on eBay, but you should enter them as China Post in the carrier name. Enter China Post and not e-packet, otherwise it wouldn't be valid. You can also enter USPS for e-packet deliveries to the United States, but for different countries such as Israel, such as Germany, France, if you have an e-packet delivery, enter it as China Post. Otherwise, it wouldn't be trackable. Wait, let me see if there are other questions. This is an interesting one. How do you master the niche in short time? Customers might have questions that you do not know. Of course, clients, if I would sell fishing stuff, I would assume that I face some issues when clients will contact me about it because I know absolutely nothing about it. But first of all, you will be able to, of course, direct your question to the supplier. Let's say that I'm getting how what kind of fishes is this lure good for? For example, this kind of question, if it's logical to ask that, I wouldn't know how to answer, so I just go to the still on Aliexpress and I ask him. I already said at the beginning that I want to enter the word crankbaits and all these fishes name because I didn't know if the lures are suitable for every kind of fish. Maybe there's something about the colors of the design that fits only specific fishes. So you can just direct it to them. Otherwise, just you can learn the niche, of course. While searching, you learn a lot. While searching, you learn about a lot. I learned about all these kind of items that are good for fishermen or people who use or has this hobby. And of course, you can study from Google. Otherwise, I wouldn't really, you know what? I wouldn't really explore or learn about it. Just if a client asks you, auto search it on Google. It's very easy to use Google into answering your questions or direct it to the supplier. You don't need to study it. It's just a waste of time, to my opinion. I, for one, would of course focus on items that I know about. Electronics, I would go. Fashion, I would go into it. Kitchen gadgets, I would go to it. There's also not much to know about it. When it comes to hobbies like drones, like fishing, like I don't know, things that has all these terms and things, I would of course try to avoid. But if I go into it, just Google the things you don't know. Okay, other than that, I don't see anything else. Okay, amazing. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this webinar. Again, it was a 3 hours webinar. The recording will be uploaded within the next couple days. I had tons of fun with you. You're most welcome, Sam, everyone. Okay, so I wish you a good night. I know it's late where you are as well. And I'm, of course, ready to answer your questions on Facebook, on posts. You can tag me. Not today, because it's 12 p.m. But from tomorrow, I'd love to. Okay, bye-bye now. I'm closing the webinar. How do I do it? Wait. Not sure how to do it. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I found it. Okay, bye-bye, guys.